Welcome to Velvet Beauty Hub, your go-to destination for fashion stories that inspire. From iconic luxury labels to rising stars in the world of style, we take you behind the scenes to discover the people, the passion, and the philosophies that shape fashion today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Hey, beautiful souls! Today we're diving into something that has me absolutely mind-blown. Picture this. We're living in 2025. We know everything about skincare. We've got dermatologists on TikTok. We've got SPF in literally everything. And yet, Gen Z is tanning like it's the early 2000s all over again. I'm talking full-on Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie vibes. And honestly, I had to do a double take when I first heard about this trend. So let me paint you a picture here, because this is wild. According to a recent American Academy of Dermatology survey, and I kid you not, 28% of Gen Z said that getting a tan was more important to them than preventing skin cancer. 28%. That's like 1 in 4 young people basically saying, you know what, I'll take the risk because I want that glow. And get this, 70% of them reported having tan skin. Now, I'm not here to shame anyone, but as someone who's been following beauty trends for years, this caught me completely off guard. Dr. Noreen Galeria, who's been a dermatologist for decades, put it perfectly when she said that Gen Z is tanning way more than millennials and Gen X ever did. She actually thought tanning would go the way of smoking. You know, something we'd eventually realize was harmful and just stop doing. But instead, it's made this huge comeback. And honestly, the effects are going to last way longer than any fashion trend. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. And I think this is the key to understanding what's happening. At first, I thought this was just Y2K nostalgia, right? We've got low-rise jeans back, bandage dresses are everywhere. So maybe tanning is just part of that whole early 2000s aesthetic revival. But after digging deeper and talking to experts, it's so much more complex than that. The biggest game changer here? Social media, obviously. TikTok and Instagram have completely transformed how young people view tanning. We've got this whole #TanTalk community where people are sharing UV oil hacks, checking the UV index like it's their daily horoscope, and treating their tan lines like accessories. I'm talking about girls showing off their triangle top tan lines, peeking out of their outfits like it's the hottest new jewelry trend. Dr. Anthony Rossi pointed out that these videos about tanning routines are literally everywhere, and young people are consuming this content like crazy. They're watching influencers and celebrities with these gorgeous deep tans. Hailey Bieber, for example, who apparently mixes keratin with SPF to intensify her tan, which, by the way, actually makes your skin more sensitive to sun damage, not less. But here's the thing that really gets me, and this is where the psychology gets fascinating. Gen Z is supposedly the most skincare-obsessed generation we've ever seen. They know about retinol, they understand acids, they've got 10-step routines, they're getting preventative Botox in their early 20s. So how does this make sense? Well, it turns out this knowledge has actually created a false sense of security. It's like they've developed this "I can fix it later" mentality. Dr. Galeria shared something that honestly made my jaw drop. She said that this summer alone, at least a dozen teenagers told her, and I quote, "Remember how Lindsay Lohan used to have all those freckles and sun damage as a teen? Well, she got some peels and lasers, and now her skin is flawless. So if I do get sun damage, there are tons of ways to reverse it." Can you believe that? They're literally using celebrity transformations as justification for sun damage. But here's what they don't realize, and this is crucial. While you might be able to fix some visible signs of sun damage on the surface, underneath, there's cellular damage happening that increases cancer risk. You can get all the peels and lasers you want, but you can't undo that increased melanoma risk. Now, let's talk about the mental health aspect, because this is where things get really real. Gen Z is incredibly open about mental health struggles. More so than any previous generation, And there are legitimate psychological benefits to sun exposure. Dr. Shivangi Manier explained that while tanning doesn't directly boost serotonin, sun exposure can enhance mood through other mechanisms. There's actual research showing that bright sunlight increases serotonin turnover, which can improve mood and reduce depression risk. For a generation dealing with unprecedented mental health challenges, spending time outdoors to get that sun-kissed glow becomes this accessible, low-cost way to feel better both physically and emotionally. And honestly, I get it. When you're struggling and someone tells you that this one thing, going outside, feeling the warmth, getting a little color, might make you feel more attractive and confident, it's incredibly appealing. But here's where I think we need to have a real conversation about this trend. Dr. Whitney Hovanek, who's not just a dermatologist, but also a mom to a Gen Zer, made this really insightful point about the social component. She said girls are hanging out together, working on their tans, comparing tan lines. It's become this bonding experience. And there's this strong message from social media that having a little color is desirable. It's not just about looking good, it's about belonging, about participating in this shared experience with your friends. Now, most experts are understandably concerned about this trend, and rightfully so. But Dr. Lamise Hamdan brought up something that really made me think. She said that maybe we've been approaching this all wrong by completely vilifying sun exposure. Her point was that, honestly, a tan does look nice and healthy and makes people feel more attractive. For a generation that's incredibly focused on appearance, wanting to be tan makes perfect sense. Instead of just telling people never go in the sun, maybe we should be teaching sun-smart practices. Too much sun is bad, but too little is also problematic because of vitamin D deficiency. She made this beautiful point about how we evolved to be outside, that there's this deep, primitive drive in all of us to want our bodies exposed to sunlight, because the sun is literally a life force. The key is learning how to use it wisely. So what does this mean for us? How do we navigate this trend? I think the answer lies in finding that balance. We can't ignore the fact that this generation knows more about skincare than any before, yet they're still falling for potentially dangerous trends. The messaging needs to change. So here's my take on all of this. The Gen Z tanning trend isn't just about nostalgia or rebellion. It's about mental health, social connection, and yes, wanting to feel attractive and confident. But it's also about a generation that's been bombarded with so much skincare information that they think they can outsmart sun damage. The solution isn't to shame or lecture, but to meet them where they are. If you're going to tan, be smart about it. Use proper SPF, limit your exposure time, understand your skin type, and please remember that no amount of future treatments can completely undo cellular damage or eliminate cancer risk. And for those of us creating content in the beauty space, we need to find new ways to communicate these messages that actually resonate. Because clearly, the old just say no to sun approach isn't working. What do you think about this trend? Are you Team Tan or Team SPF 50 year-round? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, whatever you choose, just be informed about the risks and benefits. Your future self will thank you for making thoughtful decisions about your skin health today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today on Velvet Beauty Hub. If this conversation got you thinking, definitely hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the trends that are shaping beauty and fashion culture. And seriously, drop a comment. I love hearing your thoughts on these topics. Until next time, stay beautiful and stay informed.